Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you try, something always seems missing this Christmas? The lights shine, the songs play, everyone around you is smiling, but inside your heart, there's still a void that no one can fill. Today, I want to reveal to you the true Christmas miracle that almost no one notices, a miracle that doesn't appear in gifts, parties, or decorations, but happens quietly within you, exactly where God chose to touch your life. If you've ever felt alone during a season that's supposed to be joyful, this message is for you. If you've smiled on the outside while your heart feels heavy, you are not forgotten. This video didn't find you by accident. God is still choosing humble moments to do eternal things. As you watch, let your heart slow down. Stay with me until the end, because what you discover here could transform this Christmas in a way you never imagined. If this message speaks to you, take a second to like this video. Christmas arrives every year wrapped in lights, songs, familiar traditions, and expectations that something should feel different. Yet for many people, behind the decorations and smiles, there is silence, exhaustion, grief, or a quiet sense that something is missing. And this is where the true Christmas miracle begins, because it was never meant to be loud or obvious. It was meant to meet you exactly where you are. 2,000 years ago, God did not announce his greatest gift with power, wealth, or spectacle. He came quietly, humbly, almost unnoticed, into a world too busy to stop and listen. And in many ways, nothing has changed. Even today, most people miss what Christmas is truly about, not because they don't believe, but because pain, distraction, and routine have dulled their spiritual senses. Most people think miracles look like sudden breakthroughs, instant healing, or dramatic moments that leave no doubt behind. But the true Christmas miracle rarely looks like that. It often appears as endurance when you should have given up, peace that doesn't make sense, or strength that arrives exactly when you have none left. On the night Jesus was born, the world didn't stop. Kings slept. Cities remained noisy. Ordinary people carried on with their lives, unaware that eternity had just stepped into time. And this is the pattern God still uses. He enters quietly, gently, respectfully, never forcing himself, never demanding attention. That's why so many miss him. They're looking for fireworks while God is offering presents. They're waiting for answers while God is offering himself. Maybe you've been praying for a sign, a change, or a solution, and you feel disappointed because nothing dramatic has happened yet. But what if the miracle is that you're still here? What if the miracle is that despite everything you've faced, your heart hasn't completely hardened? Christmas is the reminder that God doesn't wait for perfect conditions to move. He enters mess, uncertainty, and vulnerability. One of the most powerful details of the Christmas story is not who was present, but who was not. There were no kings in the stable, no religious elites, no powerful authorities standing by the manger. Instead, God chose the ordinary, a young couple with no status, shepherds considered unimportant by society, a place that offered no comfort or recognition, and this is deeply intentional. God wanted the world to understand something eternal. His greatest works are not reserved for the impressive, but for the available. Many people today disqualify themselves from miracles because they feel too broken, too late, or too ordinary. They believe God only moves through perfect faith or flawless lives. But Christmas declares the opposite. God enters weakness on purpose. He steps into human fragility to show that his power does not depend on our strength. Maybe you feel invisible right now. Maybe your prayers feel small, your faith feels quiet, and your life feels unnoticed. But that is exactly the environment God has always chosen to reveal himself. The miracle is not that God came to earth, it's that he came close. Have you ever noticed how often we overlook the quietest moments of God's work? We expect miracles to announce themselves with noise, drama, or visible results. Yet the true Christmas miracle is subtle. It whispers rather than shouts. It may be the peace that settles in your heart during chaos, the sudden clarity in confusion, or the comfort that comes in the middle of grief. These moments often go unnoticed because they are not spectacular in human terms, but they are transformative in eternal terms. God's presence in your life may not look like a headline story, but it is just as real as the star over Bethlehem. Every act of kindness you receive, every word that uplifts your soul, every small breakthrough in your heart is a sign of God moving quietly yet powerfully. Too often, we dismiss these signs because they do not fit our expectations. But Christmas is here to remind you that God's timing and methods are perfect, even when invisible. The most life-changing miracles are often the ones you never see coming, happening silently in your life. The true Christmas miracle is less about changing circumstances and more about transforming hearts. Think about it. Jesus didn't come to instantly fix every problem or remove every challenge. He came to change the way we see, the way we hope, and the way we respond. This transformation often begins quietly, in your thoughts, in your prayers, or in a subtle shift in perspective. Perhaps this year you've faced disappointment, fear, or loneliness. The miracle may not be that those circumstances vanish immediately, but that your heart begins to recognize God's presence in the midst of them. That awareness can spark courage, forgiveness, and a renewed capacity to love, not only others, but yourself. True Christmas miracles often look ordinary until you reflect back and see the invisible threads of grace weaving through your life. Have you noticed small signs of hope that you once overlooked? Those are God's fingerprints. It's easy to overlook the small things, isn't it? We wait for grand gestures, miraculous events that shock the world, yet God often moves in ways that are quiet, almost invisible. A call from someone you love at the perfect time, a word of encouragement that suddenly lifts your spirit, a moment of clarity when confusion seemed endless. These small, seemingly insignificant moments are actually the fingerprints of God's Christmas miracle in your life. They are the ways He reminds you that you are seen, valued, and loved. The world may ignore them, but they carry eternal significance. Often the miracle doesn't look like a solution. It looks like patience, endurance, or a heart softening just enough to recognize God's presence. Have you been too busy to notice these signs? Perhaps it's time to slow down and reflect. Christmas doesn't erase the darkness in our lives. It doesn't suddenly remove grief, fear, or loneliness. But it does bring hope. The quiet, unwavering kind that grows in your heart even when circumstances seem impossible. The true Christmas miracle is that God steps into our darkness, not to condemn it, but to illuminate it with His presence. Perhaps this year has been heavy. Maybe you felt abandoned or overwhelmed, yet the miracle is already happening. The tiniest flicker of hope, the courage to keep going, the whisper of God reminding you that you are not alone. It's easy to miss because it doesn't come wrapped in dramatic announcements. It comes quietly, tenderly, as a reassurance that God is still at work. Another part of the true Christmas miracle is gratitude. Many people focus on what they lack, what hasn't happened, or what went wrong. But God invites us to see His hand in the ordinary, in the moments that often go unnoticed. The miracle isn't always about adding something new. It's about realizing that what you already have is a gift. Perhaps it's the people who stayed with you through hard times, the small joys that make you smile, or the quiet moments of peace that remind you God is near. Recognizing these blessings opens your heart to miracles that were always present, but unnoticed. Gratitude transforms our perspective, allowing us to see God's work even in difficult circumstances. When you practice it, your heart aligns with the true meaning of Christmas, and the miracle becomes tangible. Keep watching, because the power of gratitude can reveal the miracles that have quietly surrounded you all along, changing the way you experience this Christmas season and beyond. Faith is the lens through which we recognize God's quiet miracles. Without it, even the most obvious blessings can go unnoticed. Christmas is a season that invites us to renew our faith, not in spectacular displays, but in the simple, steadfast truth that God is present and working. Perhaps you've struggled with doubt or have felt that your prayers go unheard. The miracle of Christmas is that God still honors your faith, even when it feels small or weak. He meets you exactly where you are, offering hope, strength, and courage to continue walking forward. Sometimes this renewed faith doesn't arrive with fanfare. It comes as a soft whisper in your heart, reminding you that you are not forgotten. When you embrace it, your perspective shifts and life begins to sparkle with divine opportunities and hidden blessings. The miracle is not distant, it is present and alive within you. One of the most overlooked miracles of Christmas is the gift of forgiveness. Many carry burdens from the past, regrets, mistakes, and unresolved conflicts that weigh heavily on the heart. Yet God's presence at Christmas invites us to release these chains and experience freedom. Forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation with others. Sometimes it begins within, forgiving ourselves and trusting God's grace to restore what was broken. When you allow forgiveness to enter your life, walls of bitterness crumble, and your heart becomes a fertile ground for miracles to grow. It's not always dramatic or obvious, but the transformation is real and lasting. Imagine the relief of letting go of resentment, the peace that fills your soul, and the joy that emerges when you choose to release what is no longer yours to carry. If this truth resonates with you, comment, "I forgive in Jesus' name." Share your journey of release and healing. It could inspire someone watching to take the first step toward freedom. The miracle of forgiveness can redefine your life, opening doors to peace, joy, and unseen blessings that have been waiting for your heart to accept them. Christmas is also about connection, true communion with God and with those around us. In a world filled with distractions, busyness, and social noise, God's miracle often comes through relationships that reflect His love. A simple act of kindness, a heartfelt conversation, or even a shared prayer can carry more power than any material gift. These moments remind us that God's presence is not distant. It is tangible in the love and care we extend to one another. Perhaps this year you have felt isolated or disconnected. The miracle is that God can use even the smallest gestures of connection to fill the deepest voids in your heart. Recognizing these moments allows you to experience Christmas not just as a season, but as a living encounter with God's love. Christmas reminds us that hope is never lost, even when circumstances seem impossible. The true miracle is that God plants seeds of hope in hearts that feel weary, unseen, or defeated. These seeds may not sprout immediately, and sometimes we may not notice them at first. But with patience, prayer, and faith, they grow into the kind of hope that sustains us through life's storms. Maybe you've been waiting for a breakthrough, a change, or a sign that God is still at work. The miracle may be that He has already begun moving in ways you haven't recognized, through people, opportunities, or even small, quiet shifts in your heart. It's in trusting this ongoing work that the true power of Christmas is revealed. God's miracles are not always instantaneous. Often they unfold slowly, persistently, and faithfully, preparing us for the joy and fulfillment that only He can bring into our lives. As we come to the close of this message, take a deep breath and let it sink in. The true Christmas miracle is happening in your life, even if you haven't noticed it yet. It's in the quiet moments of strength, the subtle shifts in your heart, the opportunities to forgive, love, and connect. God's presence is not limited to grand gestures. It's woven into the ordinary, everyday experiences that shape who we are and who we will become. This season, open your eyes and your heart to these hidden blessings, Reflect on the people, moments, and experiences that have carried you through trials and recognize them as gifts from God. If you feel His work in your life today, comment, "I see your miracles, Lord." Let others witness the truth that miracles can be quiet, persistent, and transformative. Don't forget to like this video. It spreads this life-changing message to someone who needs it now. Share it with family and friends so they too can recognize the hidden ways God is moving in their lives. Remember, the true Christmas miracle is not in what you receive, but in seeing God's presence everywhere, trusting Him, and living each day with faith, hope, and gratitude. This is the miracle that few notice, but it is real, eternal, and yours to embrace.